Welcome, welcome. It's late afternoon on a Saturday here in Sheffield, deep into December, so quite busy on the roads with shopping, and also I think there's a football game going on today. And I'm going off to an order from Morrison's. It's a £6 order, which is reasonable, but we'll see ultimately how long the whole thing takes. Now it's obviously beginning to look a lot like Christmas. You're seeing lots of Christmas decorations on the houses here. You can see them on the left and right. I wouldn't say that it's festive season so much for myself. We learned a couple of weeks ago that the part of the University of Sheffield that I work at is in for a kind of restructuring, which means that around a third of the people who work in my department are likely to get made redundant if they don't take some kind of voluntary severance that's being offered. So, like many people, I'm having to make a decision whether to hang in there and see if I keep my job, or whether to decide to cut loose, take the severance, and then see what else is out there. See, this is not a great time to be making a decision like this at Christmas. It's not a great time to be looking for jobs either, because obviously if you're going to take any kind of voluntary severance, then you really do need, ideally, to have another job lined up, or have a clear idea of what other job you've got to go to. But no one's really hiring at this time of year, or it's really difficult to find anyone hiring at this time of year. So the other choice is to just risk it, take the severance, and see what pops up later. It will give me a few months buffer. I can carry on doing this as a kind of a second job or a side hustle to keep things ticking over. And obviously in this kind of economic climate, it probably makes sense to hang on in there, try and keep your job, keep your pension, keep all your payments going. But there is that part of me that's like, are you just opting for the easy way out? I get the feeling that universities are really on the slide, and even if I hang on for a year or two more, somewhere down the line this is probably going to be offered again, and it may be less voluntary at that point. So it kind of feels like it might be worth taking it, and when I've still got energy in my limbs to see what else can be done. There's a part of me that's kind of curious to find out whether it's possible to not do a sort of a full-time job, but do a series of short-term, part-time jobs, and earn money that way. But again, that's pretty risky, but we'll see. Hey mate, have you got that one? 7592. Oh, just that one, yeah? Okay, great. Thank you. Oh, is it okay? Oh, is there alcohol in there? Okay. Alright, let's get off to this order then. I'm going about 3 miles, so I'm told it looks to be about 3.5 miles for about £6, which isn't bad at all. So yeah, I really got to make a decision. I've got until early January to make this decision about whether to take the kind of voluntary redundancy or not, or whether to kind of hang on in there and see how things pan out. I think in the end, regardless of whether I get made redundant later, I'd still get the same amount of money. It's whether I just want to go through that whole process or not, or whether I just want to make a clean break of it and try something different, try something new. So I think that's been my concern. Is someone said to me, which one are you going to regret more, taking it or not taking it? And I think deep down, I think I'm going to regret not taking it. I think I've been at this place now for about 15 years, and I feel I've done everything I can there, and with the economic downturn, things are just going to get nastier and uglier and more difficult. And yeah, I'm not seeing a very bright future for universities, and particularly the area that I work in, which is working with international students, and their numbers are dropping, and there's all kinds of issues. And so yeah, it might be time to make a move and look for something else to do, and this, it does fill me with a certain cheer and optimism to think about trying something different, perhaps doing a different type of job, find a new career path. I don't know what that would be, but anything that doesn't involve endless online meetings would be an absolute bonus, because they absolutely bloody suck. I just feel my sort of life force being sucked out of me as I sit through the third or fourth meeting in a day, discussing things that are of not a huge amount of relevance to me, and you have to kind of nod along. So maybe there is if I'm feeling that sense of boredom and sense of deja vu, then it probably is time to pull the plug. But of course, at the back of your mind there's all the financial worries and payments that you have, and whether you could, what would happen if you don't find work after a little while. I've got a bit of a buffer, but it's not going to last long. I'd love to hear from anyone else who's taken the leap and made a big career break. It'd be good to hear of someone who did that, and even if you didn't necessarily end up earning more, whether you felt it was worth it. I think more for your sort of mental health and sense of purpose in life. I certainly know for certain that YouTube is not going to be my financial saviour. I love doing this, and I do like recording these videos and releasing them. It's just kind of learning a new skill more than anything. But yeah, obviously I don't earn any money from these. You've got to have a certain number of subscribers and amount of time people have watched it to do it. And I think even then, once you reach that, you're not making a huge amount unless you're in the kind of hundreds of thousands or millions of views. Interestingly, my son has his own YouTube channel, and he just releases these sort of YouTube shorts. He's quite young, he's only like 11. I kind of monitor it for him, and he's got an insane number of subscribers. He's got about like 70,000 subscribers, simply because he made one video out of all the videos he's made that became incredibly popular and had about 30 million views or something. And so he could get monetized, and in fact it took quite a while because they kept rejecting his application, and eventually they said, yeah, we can monetize you. And that was a sort of a few weeks or maybe a month or so ago, and we've been watching keeping an eye on how much he's earning, and I think in a month he's earned about £6 or something like that, which for him is great. He thinks it's great that at his age he's earning money through releasing his little short videos, but certainly not going to make a career out of it. And in fact, I think until he reaches a certain threshold, I think it's about £60, he won't actually even be able to get his hands on the money, so it's just kind of sat there in the account until it reaches that level. And there's lots of restrictions on videos, so the video that's really popular of his, that can't be monetized because I think there's someone in a foreign language swearing. There's a guy in Russian who swears on the video. It's a really short video, and I think he says something naughty in Russian, and so there's this kind of limit on how much you can make from that one. But you know, it's great that he's sort of got it, and he's earning a few quid from it, and he can kind of see the link between the work he puts in and money that comes out at the end. And hopefully it will stand him in good stead in the future. And he'll probably learn about what makes a popular video, and how to edit and how to monetize properly. It's probably something he could teach me, given how crappily my channel's doing. Hello there, my dear. Do you have any ID on you?
I can go and get it.
Is it okay?
It's right now, but if you'd like to leave a message.
There you go. Have a great one.
Cheers.
Happy Christmas.